how big is this issue currently when it comes to prison leavers rather, managing to find employment in the UK?
Well, at the moment, the stats are generally that around only about 17% of prison leavers find work in the first year of release. Yet employment is one of the biggest factors that reduces reoffending. And there's kind of this figure at the moment that I think people are doing a bit more research into, but the cost, the kind of social and economic kind of impact of reoffending, mainly by unemployed people, kind of costs the taxpayer at the moment about £18 billion a year, which is a significant amount of money. And obviously we know that employment provides so many different things to people. Like if we think about for what it kind of provides just us as individuals, we can have that sense of purpose and that social stability, like financially, a community. And those are just three things. And you think if people don't have employment and all they know is a life of crime, how are they going to change their life? How are they going to reduce reoffending? So for a lot of people, actually, when they come out of prison, often what they say is they do want work, whether that's voluntary or part-time or full-time. They want something to do to keep them busy and to use their minds so that they're not idle and twiddling their thumbs and going off and doing other things that they shouldn't be doing. So yeah, it's quite a prevalent issue, really.
So what are some of the obstacles then that kind of ex-offenders are facing when it comes to trying to enter the workplace?
I think there's some kind of more practical things. So for some people, they come out homeless, and that's, a major obstacle, really. If you think one thing that we need to be able to have to ensure that we can work is a stable place to live and to feel safe. And so that's kind of a big factor. I think for others, it's potentially not having work experience. And so employers don't consider them because they don't have a CV, or on an application form, they don't have a history of employment like other people might have. For others, it is simply the fact they have a criminal record, and that employers won't even consider that because maybe the employer doesn't understand about what shows up on a criminal record and why. They don't understand what certain wording means that comes up on a criminal record, or they think because that person has a criminal record, their reputation, the business's reputation, will go down, or that they can't have them work for them, or they are just afraid. There's like a fear and a lot of misconceptions around it. So that can be a barrier. But then for other people who are leaving prison, they don't have qualifications. And that doesn't mean they're not educated or that they're not bright. It's just that they left school at a young age, so didn't get qualifications. And so that can be a barrier because, again, employers say you need to have a degree or you need to have an equivalent qualification. And actually, a lot of people in prison don't have that, but they're very able to do the work, and they still have the same intellect as someone that does have a degree. So there's a kind of, those, I suppose, are more societal issues, really, that can be a barrier. And then I think if we look at some softer kind of outcomes or things that might prevent people, it's around self-esteem, anxiety, just not having work in the past, and so they don't believe they can actually be a kind of a good member of society going forward. It can sometimes be around the label they feel they have. So a lot of people that leave prison say they feel they've got this neon sign on their head that says, I've been in prison. And so there can be a lot of the internal things that actually can be a barrier or an obstacle for someone trying to find work as well.